Now, staying with water concerns over the possibilities of dry taps in even more areas across Johannesburg this festive season continue to grow, from unplanned outages and leaks to a ramping of maintenance that may be a little too late. Additionally, illegal water connections in the city of Johannesburg are believed to have led to the loss of over 12 million litres of water every day. To talk us through the sheer size of the issue and just how bad it could get, we are joined now by UNISA professor and water management expert, Professor Anja du Plessis. Professor du Plessis, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Before we even get to the illegal connections, you just heard there from those packages, residents in Johannesburg, it's not just parts of Soweto, but also parts of the northern suburbs as well, areas like Emmarantia and other parts of Johannesburg as well that have experienced these water cuts. How big of a problem is it, and would it spread across the city for the festive season?
Well, if we look at the media releases from Johannesburg Water, especially in terms of their water demand management, where they are throttling reservoirs at this point in time, the list is getting longer and longer, unfortunately. And as well in Sandton, they've been living with water cuts. Previously, it started from 9 or 10 in the evening and it stopped at 4 in the morning. It's now much earlier, 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then in the morning until 6 or 7. So it seems like the water crisis is expanding. It is getting worse. And with the Rand water maintenance period that is happening from the 13th to the 16th, that is going to place even more strain and pressure on the system. The Ekenhof and then the Zeker pump stations are going to go through maintenance for 83 hours. So it seems to have expanded, unfortunately, with more and more areas being dry for much longer periods.
Is it one of those situations, Professor, where you'd say that the situation will get better after the 13th to the 16th maintenance that we're going to be seeing? And also, that is quite a crucial time. There's school holidays, there's the Christmas period also coming. Is it one of those you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't? You have to do it during that period.
Look, we need to remember to differentiate between Rand Water and then Johannesburg Water as well. So Rand Water has got their maintenance schedule, and we did ask them whether they would be able to postpone this maintenance, and then they did go back to their boardroom, and then they said, unfortunately not, due to governance issues such as the agreement that they have with the contractor. And also, it seems like it is quite an emergency maintenance that they have to do in any case. So we need to remember to differentiate between the two. And as you say, yes, it is damned if you do and damned if you don't. But the primary issue is previously Rand Water did do maintenance, and it didn't have a lot of impact on the water system within our metros. But unfortunately, because of the neglected infrastructure, the high increasing demand, higher temperatures, illegal connections, vandalism, all of that stuff that has been on the increase, that unfortunately has caused that our water storage in totality is not enough for our water demand at this point in time. And this has been ongoing for the past decade, where the warning signs were there, population has increased, economic activities has increased, but unfortunately our infrastructure has not kept pace with that. So, and that's again due to poor forward planning and then management as well.
You know, when you mention illegal connections as well, Prof, Joburg Water has seemingly blamed illegal water connections by informal settlements, the residents there, for the water cuts that we're experiencing in the metro. How fair is this, and can we blame this crisis squarely on illegal connections, or are there other reasons, like you're mentioning the neglected infrastructure, for instance?
Look, in terms of the illegal connections, it is a major issue. The 12 million litres per day figure that you mentioned, that's only for their deep south region. So that's not even for the whole of Joburg. And what they are at this point in time dealing with is the bypassing or tampering of water meters, especially in the informal settlements. So Joburg Water does provide water tankers to the informal settlements, but unfortunately it's not enough. And this then causes people to get desperate and try to make another plan. And then they try to tamper with the water meter, or they bypass it, and so on. And I think the reason why they're trying to raise this as another issue, except from the neglected infrastructure, is that your illegal connections places more strain on your water system already. It affects, obviously, the people that pay for their water. But the other thing is it damages infrastructure. So I think that is why Joburg Water has tried to also shed some light on this, what they are dealing with on an ongoing basis. And the past 3 weeks, what they've done is they've disconnected 23 illegal or bad buildings within the Joburg CBD. So they're consistently trying to address these illegal connections, but what they are sitting with at this point in time, it's simply not enough. And what is really required is actual political will from Joburg, extreme bylaw enforcement, and then also prosecution. It seems that the same route that DWS is going with some of the municipalities, by saying, asking you nicely is seemingly not working. But within the city of Johannesburg, we really do need political will to try and address especially illegal connections. But then again, can you really put 100% of the blame on people that are sitting with dry taps for weeks on end? You're providing water tankers. People aren't really sure whether they will be able to trust these water tankers. Are they actually water tankers from Joburg Water? So there's a lot of factors at play, and unfortunately, I can't say that we just have to blame illegal connections. That is a symptom of the problem.
Yeah. And speaking of also the mistrust and of those water tankers as well, we also heard those residents in Protea Glen and Soweto saying they don't know who owns these trucks. They don't know where these trucks come from. And when you think of what happened in Hammanskraal with that cholera outbreak as well, it is an issue for concern too, the mechanisms that are being used, which are the water tankers. What is another solution that we can try and do while we are busy with this infrastructure maintenance as well?
Well, first of all, in terms of the water tankers, there has to be more transparency and open communication from Joburg Water. There has to be a way that you inform citizens that, this is what a water tanker has to look like. That has been assigned by Joburg Water. So that type of things has to start to happen at this point, because people, as you say, firstly, they don't trust government, and at this point in time, they really don't trust the water that sometimes comes out of their taps due to the issue of Hammanskraal, as well as other cases right across the country. But unfortunately, that will have to be worked on, and that can only be worked on if politicians actually acknowledge that it is a crisis, not just a challenge, and that illegal connections are dealt with in such a way so that there's enough water that's being provided to them. So there has to be communication from both sides to say, why are you doing this? But it's not only informal settlements where this is happening, it's happening in your middle and high class areas as well, where people bypass meters, valves, or whatever. I've heard all kinds of stories from especially Joburg Water personnel on the ground, what they have to deal with at this point in time. But unfortunately, as you say, and as the gentleman said in the insert, that this is a man-made crisis. Yes, the Vaal Dam level is very low. Yes, we're having higher temperatures and heat waves. Yes, we need to try and decrease our water wastage overall, not just consumers, but industry and businesses as well. But at the end of the day, if the Vaal Dam was full at 110%, if the Lesotho Highland Scheme Tunnel was open, we would still be sitting with these types of issues because our infrastructure can just not handle the demand at this point in time.
That is very unfortunate indeed. Professor Anja du Plessis, thank you so much for your time this evening.